Benghazi? Ben got him. One of the top guys who did the attack, according to authorities, Ahmed Abu Khattala from Ansar al-Sharia.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Yeah. Down goes Abu Khattala. Down goes Abu Khattala. Okay, so obviously people are excited. Now let me tell you a little bit about how we were showboating a little bit. U.S. official says, a reminder that when the United States says it's going to hold someone accountable and he will face justice, this is what we mean. Damn. And then James Comey, who's the FBI director, says, look, acknowledging that it took a while to get one of the guys involved, and he's the first guy that we've gotten, and obviously 4 Americans were killed in that Benghazi attack. He says, one thing you've got to know about the FBI, we never give up. So sometimes things take longer than we'd like them to, but they never go into an inactive bin. Okay, so now they say that this guy was one of the people involved. He also partly says that. He says he didn't plan it or participate in the beginning. He says he showed up at the end. We know that because he actually did some interviews after the attack. CNN talked to a reporter who had talked to him a little bit after the attack. Now she says she hasn't been able to reach him in the year or so after she talked to him. So that, of course, leads to not a celebration, but a conspiracy theory on Fox News. Of course! Here we go.
The obvious question, Ed, and I'm guessing you're not in a position to answer it yet, is why now? I mean, as you point out, this guy Khattala was out sitting in sidewalk cafes, meeting with reporters, and as you say, bragging about his role in all of this. Why did they pick him up now?
And then, as you say, he was openly doing various media interviews, boasting about his role in all of this. And the question was, why hasn't the U.S. been able to bring him in if various U.S. media outlets had been able to interview him?
Yeah, why now? Distraction from Obamacare and the IRS scandal and Benghazi. Wait, this is Benghazi. They've always got a theory. Okay, so why now? I mean, why wouldn't you do it maybe like right before an election? We're nowhere near an election. Why now? All right, fill us in.
The former Secretary of State, who's in the middle of a really high-profile book tour, and I think this is convenient for her to shift the talking points from some of the things that she's been discussing.
And we go back to those days, those immediate days following the attack, in which we heard President Obama vow that he was going to bring these guys to justice, whoever these attackers were. All the meanwhile, Kimberly brings up the day that the New York Times talked to him, sitting outside of a luxury hotel, sipping on a strawberry frappe.
That was just a month after the attack.
Within a month after the attack.
Something clearly changed in the calculus of the United States, and I think a lot of it does have to do with the State Department. I think this thing needs to be tied in a bow for certain individuals to have a clean break from an incident that has become and will continue to be a scandal and an anchor around a certain individual's neck who may want to run for president.
Well,
and so there's
having an interview today.
Who might just be having what a great thing to announce on an interview tonight at Fox News, that the perpetrators have been brought to justice. It's all too neat and it's too cute, and I want to be grateful. I always want to give the benefit of the doubt to our authorities, but in this case it feels too neat on the timeline.
Aha! There we go. They timed the capture of a terrorist that killed 4 Americans, including our ambassador, based on a Fox News interview. yeah, that's what they did. Okay, now look, everybody knows somebody like Pete Hegseth, the guy you saw there at the end. Some thick-headed dude, and I guess somebody's got to represent the thick-headed dudes in America, who goes out there, I know, man, I know what happened. I know what happened. You see, the refs were in on it. Okay, I know they were. So, look, I, unlike Hegseth, do not give the benefit of the doubt to the authorities. And I question, too, why they didn't get him in the beginning when the guy was doing like a media tour, right? But then he went into hiding, and the same reporters actually went on CNN recently and said, well, we couldn't track him down after that, and he's been, gone for about a year where we couldn't track him. So there was a bit of incompetence, if you ask me, in the beginning. But clearly they've been looking for him. In fact, they had a whole mission ready to go, but because of unrest in Libya, they had to cancel it sometime late last year, and then they got him in their sights again and managed to capture him now. Now, if they had timed it to, let's say, right before the vote in November, before the midterm elections, you might say, okay. Now, but if you were going to hold this in your back pocket and then release it whenever you wanted, why didn't you, and it was going to be a distraction, why didn't you do it in the middle of the terrible Obamacare rollout where he got such bad press, right? You know how they were like, a distraction. Why wouldn't you come out with a distraction of, we got him, right? This is not like 2.5 years from a presidential election, half a year from a midterm election, but before a Hillary Clinton Fox News interview is not when you release this news. And so why do these thick-headed guys think stuff like that? Because that's what conservatives do. Remember John Ashcroft did a press conference, urgent press conference, when he was up in Russia. He said, oh my God, we got a dirty, dirty bomber, Jose Padilla. And of course, it turned out later that he was not a dirty bomber at all. They had made that up. They had to go to court and they got embarrassed. Said, yeah, we were just lying. Here are the other charges. He was related to some terrorist maybe in Central Asia. No, he had no plans to do dirty bombing in the United States at all. And by the way, they had captured him months before. So these are the tricks that Republicans do. So they assume that everybody does it. Look, I don't put political tricks past Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama. But in this case, if it is a political trick, it's the silliest, least effective political trick of all time. But conservatives can't get it out of their head. Everything's a conspiracy to them. Yeah, but then Hillary Clinton was about to sneeze. Distraction. All of a sudden, they get the Benghazi guy. Now you're looking away from her sneeze, aren't you? Gotcha. Bounds of reason, man. But there are no bounds of reason when you're with the lunatic right. Which brings us to what was happening at the Heritage Foundation. Heritage Foundation puts together a panel on Benghazi. And right after the panel, we found out that they actually got one of the architects of Benghazi. Conspiracy? Well, you can bet your bottom dollar they believe it's a conspiracy, because they believe everything's a conspiracy. Let me give you a list of what these idiots believe is going on. And these are actual theories. Dana Milbank was there, reporter for the Washington Post, that were bandied about on this expert panel. Now, if you don't know, the Heritage Foundation is a right-wing think tank. It used to be respected, but it's now filled with absolute lunatics, and I can prove it to you. Here are the conspiracies that were mentioned on that panel. Muslim Brotherhood infiltrated the Obama administration. Well, of course they did, right? Yeah, sure. And then President Obama was funding jihadists in their quest to destroy the United States. Yes. President Obama's secretly been giving money to jihadists who want to destroy the United States. Look, man, this is kooky stuff, man. This is like beyond kooky. Obama and Hillary Clinton, they say, are attempting to impose Sharia blasphemy laws on Americans. Yeah, Hillary Clinton, who, by the way, is female, would like to be guided by Sharia law, and she'd like to cover herself up. She fought for children's rights, women's rights her whole career. Now, I got a lot of problems with Hillary Clinton. That she's pushing for Sharia law ain't one of them. No, you have to literally have lost your mind to believe this stuff. This is like Roswell. This is like we didn't land on the moon. This is batshit crazy, okay? We're having a debate with these guys? We got a national media that takes these guys seriously, that gives them credence? Here, I got more for you, 2 more. They say, no, I'm sorry, more than that. 4 more. They say Al Jazeera America is being an organ of enemy propaganda. Organ. Okay. And Plant, who's the leader of this esteemed panel, he's a conservative talk show host, said, cast doubt on whether Ambassador Chris Stevens really died of smoke inhalation. Did he die at all? But you're blaming Obama because of his death. Oh, maybe he died of something else. Who killed him? Probably Obama, right? Or Vince Foster, one of the two. Or the aliens from Roswell. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. 2 more. Stevens, according to this conspiracy theory, the ambassador who was killed, had been working on a weapons swap program between Libya and Syria just before he was killed. And that swaps program was going to be for $1 million. But wait a minute, that's Ambassador Stevens. You're pissed at Obama because he died. Now why is he in the middle of your conspiracy? How did he turn into a bad guy? Doing some sort of Libyan-Syrian swap. Yeah, these things, not only are they insane, I know it's kind of a funny thing, but they're also not logical. The goddamn Obama and Stevens for not protecting Stevens, and Stevens is the worst. Got you. And finally, Obama watched our people die, according to the last conspiracy theory, although it won't be the last, it's just among the ones we're hearing now, in real-time drone footage from Benghazi. And the entire time that he was watching that, of course, he was going, This is not a debate, man. This is not 2 sides of an argument. These people are, there's no other word for it, lunatics. They're crazy. They have lost their minds. The Heritage Foundation, we're supposed to respect the Heritage Foundation? They're holding a panel at an insane asylum. Okay, and hey, and what do you think? I think all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Here comes Johnny. Oh, interesting. Is Johnny coming or is he not coming? Let's have a debate.